All right, we're here with Leslie. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, good, Leslie. Can you tell us your current situation, where you're living right now, and what drugs you're struggling with?
I'm struggling with crack cocaine. Not as much as used to, but and I'm struggling. I'm by myself. I'm struggling with cancer, colon cancer. Housing. I'm homeless, more or less just day-to-day life.
Day-to-day life. And you work here on the streets?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how long have you been doing that?
The first time I ever done it, I was 23.
And where were you born?
I was born in Williamson County, but I was raised here in Nashville.
Were you raised with both parents?
Step parent.
Okay. What happened to your birth parents? Were you adopted?
No, I was raised by my mother, my biological mother, and a stepfather.
Oh, okay. How was your childhood?
It was good. I was raised in the projects, inner city projects.
Which projects around here?
They're tore down now, but it used to be Settle Court over off of Lishi.
I saw those when my Uber driver was driving me down here. Okay. You grew up in the projects, so you grew up, it was kind of rough growing up?
Yeah. I had 4 brothers, no sisters.
Yeah.
And I was the baby, so I was made to fight, wrestle, all that. I didn't even know what a Barbie doll was until I was 7. So, we didn't have a TV.
Yeah.
I was left at 16 by myself. My mother moved to another state. I finished school. I put myself through cosmetology school, and yeah, every day since then I've been.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. How was school? How was your school days? Let's start with elementary.
Well, I was considered a smart child. I didn't go to kindergarten. I got put straight to 1st grade. Well, I did 7th and 8th grade all in 1 year. 7th, 8th, and 9th. A lot of that had to do with my birth date, but being in January. But yeah, I done good in school.
Did you? All right, how about high school? Were you a popular kid?
I was popular, but I wasn't the type that was into crowds.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I'm more or less a shy type person, or okay. I say to myself more or less.
All right, did you play any sports?
Volleyball.
Yeah. How was your grades?
A's, B's.
Okay, you did good. And did you go to college after that, or you went to cosmetology school?
Just cosmetology.
Oh, that's great. What do you mean just? You came from a rough
Well, I mean, I paid for it, so I couldn't deal with having to pay for college.
You paid for it? Where'd you get the money?
Oh, I worked fast food restaurants and stuff.
Oh, and you saved the money? That's awesome. And did you...
I also started selling drugs.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next. When did you start using drugs?
I started selling drugs when I was 16.
But you weren't using?
No.
Okay.
I didn't use my first drug until I was 23.
Now, who pushed you to sell drugs? Who influenced you?
Well, I was in the projects. That's the main place to buy. Yeah. I shouldn't watch them. Plus, like I said, I have 4 brothers. So they
started selling drugs. Did you have any positive role models growing up?
I can't say that I did, and that's what pushed me to do better.
Okay. Oh, that pushed you to do better?
Well, I'm the only graduate out of all the kids, out of all my brothers, sisters, well, my brothers.
Yeah. So what do you think motivated you to excel?
I've always been the type to challenge myself, and me being from where I'm from and going through what I've been through, or was going through back then even, made me just, like I said, I stayed to myself, so I didn't have nothing but time to think.
Okay, I'll go on. Ready?
What had me using drugs?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was forced. My first hit of crack was forced on me, which I was selling drugs at the time. And my boyfriend, he was an older guy, he used drugs, so therefore he pretty much had free drugs for me, constant. Well, one night after dinner, I was washing dishes and he had gotten high or whatever, and he came up behind me and put a knife to my throat and made me sit down at the kitchen table and take my first hit of crack on a 24-ounce bush can. And then he slit my throat right here. I didn't continue smoking from then on. I gradually picked it back up. Gradually picked it up constant, but that's how I ended up taking my first hit.
At 23?
Yeah.
What kept you away from childhood to 23 from using drugs?
I just stayed moving around. I didn't really want drugs You know, I didn't ever, what's the word? I didn't really ever just wonder about drugs.
Okay.
Like I said, I sold them. I seen the people that bought them from me.
Yeah.
I probably never would have touched them if I wasn't forced to.
And then when did it become a problem? When you started 23, when did you notice that you have an issue with drugs?
Probably the first time I ever prostituted.
Okay, and when was that?
I did my first prostitution, my first trick when I was 23.
Oh, at that age? Because you needed the money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I said, my boyfriend at the time, we had been together like 5 years, but he ended up going to the federal penitentiary for what he'd done to me.
Yeah.
And I was by myself after that.
So you've been working the streets almost 18 years?
Well, I was clean for 9 years.
Oh, you were, okay, I want to get into that.
I just recently
too.
got back.
Okay, we're going to get into that. It's very important. So you started working the streets. Was there times where you felt unsafe with the trick?
All the time. I've been stabbed 9 different times.
Oh.
9 different occasions, rather. There's been plenty of times.
And then, do you have any children?
I have children. I didn't have children for myself, though.
Okay.
I had children for my aunt and uncle because they couldn't have children.
From who?
I had children for my aunt and uncle because they couldn't have children.
Okay, can you explain that?
Well, I realized at a young age that I didn't have patience.
Yeah.
So I chose not to have children.
Okay.
But when me and my boyfriend at the time, I found out that my aunt and uncle couldn't have children, we decided to just step up and make babies.
Okay.
I've had 6 children altogether.
6 children, okay.
3 of them died at birth, and I have 3 that are living. I have a set of twins that are 12, and I have a son that is 15.
Okay, and you had the children, but they raised them.
Yeah, they adopted them at birth.
Okay, you relinquished your rights. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you still talk to them? Are you close to them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They know I'm their mother. They haven't got to that age where they're just asking questions. So we don't want to just set them down and try to drill it into their head, you know?
Yeah. Are you currently in a relationship?
It's complicated.
Okay. And then you said that you live on the streets right now?
When I can't afford a place to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Is it dangerous on the streets here in Nashville?
Yeah. It's gotten even worse.
It's gotten even worse. Is there times where you feel unsafe on the streets too? Or are you with a group of
Here
people?
lately, well, like I said, I like to stay to myself.
Yeah.
So even if I am with people, I'm constantly watching them too. You know, even people I've known 15, 20 years, you know.
Yeah. All right, so now I want to talk about how you got sober for those 9 years. When was it, and what was the triggering event that made you want to get sober?
Well, back in 2010, I was asleep in a vehicle, okay? And the people that owned the vehicle, driving the vehicle, whatever, they had gotten caught inside of a house, burglarizing it.
Yeah.
Okay? I was asleep. They was pulled out in front of the house on the street, so we wasn't on the property. But I woke up to the police officer waking me up, and I got charged with aggravated burglary. Even though I wasn't even on the property, I was asleep. I had the police officer testify on my behalf, but Judge Norman didn't want to go there, so I got a complete charge. I did. I fought my own case in court for 3 years. Judge Norman finally offered me probation under one stipulation, that I went to a treatment program. And in order for me to get out, they had to come and interview me and pick me up and take me with them. So Mending Hearts came. I went there. That's where I actually met my husband. When we was finally able to start using the phone, I was trying to call one of my drug buddies and I dialed the wrong telephone number. That's how I met my husband, but
That's how you met your husband?
that's how I met my, yeah, we're exes now, but it's mutual. We just grew apart.
Yeah.
But when I tell everybody he was a godsend, he pretty much was at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I stayed from 2010 for 9 years.
Yeah. From that point, you became sober?
Yeah,
You say
2010.
so? What kept you away? Did you go to NA or anything?
I did when we was in the program.
Okay.
But
How long was the program?
when I was out here, it was 30 days, and I went to transitions after I graduated the program,
Yeah.
where we can do like go out and get jobs and stuff
Yeah.
and pay rent and stuff like that.
So you remained sober for 9 years. What did you do in those 9 years?
Well, part of it, I was on 6 years and a month probation. So, which I've always failed probation in the past, and I think that they thought I was going to fail it then, but I was determined. I simply refused to, prove them right. So I graduated probation. I worked, got married, bought a house. Yeah, I got married. Me and my husband just happened to grow apart. He's an older man. It got to the point where we was in separate rooms when we wasn't home unless we was asleep. So our divorce was mutual.
Yeah.
We still own a house together.
Yeah.
Out in Madison.
You still own it?
Yeah. Okay. My name's still on there. Well, see, after we separated, a week after that is when I got laid off my job. My job closed.
Oh, okay.
Went out of business. So I had to leave everything to him pretty much. No.
Now I want to know, what was a triggering event that caused you to use again?
I didn't really have triggers. Crack is a mind addiction.
So what happened when you started using again?
I just gave up.
Okay.
Like I said, I found out I had cancer. I don't want sympathy from nobody, and just everybody keeps, I'm sorry. No, don't.
When did you find out you had cancer?
I have colon cancer, and it's hereditary.
Yeah.
My biological father died from it.
Yeah.
But they didn't catch it early enough. Well, with it being hereditary, they wanted me to do colonoscopies every 2 years instead of every 5. So I went for my 2-year checkup. Everything was negative, fine, everything. About 6 months later, I was not feeling good, and I went back to my doctor, and they rescheduled me one. Yeah. And that's when they found it.
What year was this?
Last year.
When did you break your sobriety?
I broke my sobriety right before I found out.
Oh, right before you found out. Okay. And then as soon as you started using started losing everything again?
I haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of drug user or whatever.
Yeah.
I move away from everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I still have everything that,
Can you explain that? You move away from everything.
Well, there's a difference between a crackhead and a dope smoker to me.
Okay.
A crackhead is one who will go and steal their children's things to sell them for drugs.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's a crackhead.
Yeah.
A dope smoker is somebody that's going to get out and earn their money, or, I'm a dope smoker. Yeah. I consider myself better than anybody. I do what I do, I pay for what I do, and I do it with no harm done to anybody, so. And I don't look down on nobody else.
What's the best thing about your life right now?
I'm living.
Living and breathing?
Yeah.
What about your cancer situation? When was the last time you saw a doctor?
Last week. This past Tuesday, actually.
How's it going? What's going on?
I just started, I started my first radiation treatment. I had tried chemo in the beginning and couldn't get out of bed for 2 days afterwards. And the first pain medicine they offered me was fentanyl. I refused, and I died off of fentanyl 3 different times by accident out here.
You what now? You died?
Yeah.
Okay, how? Can you explain
They
that?
had to hit me with Narcan like 3 times the last time. But I had went to buy some cocaine powder, and they got it mixed up and sold me fentanyl instead.
So now the treatment, what's going on with the treatment? What's your next appointment and what's going to happen?
I have to call and make an appointment Monday.
Okay.
They want me to call every week because they want me to come once every week.
Yeah.
And most people go like twice a week.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to just stay once a week as of right now. Like I said, I don't really know all that much about it yet because I just started the radiation.
Yeah.
But they said they think it's the best method. They think it's even better than chemo. So.
If you wanted to go to rehab again, do you know where to go, where the facility is, or?
Yeah, I know plenty of them.
Okay, in Nashville, can you name a couple of them?
We have Magdalene House.
Magdalene House?
It's a 2-year program. Okay. It's very good. I know a lot of the women that run it. Okay. Mending Hearts. There's quite a few other ones. Those are just 2 of the main ones that I deal with.
So let's say you wake up tomorrow and you wanted to get serious and get sober. Do you know the steps to take?
Yeah.
What would you do?
You gotta have the want to first.
Okay, let's say you have the want. What would the next step be?
Walk away from it.
Walk away from it. Would you go to a rehab?
I'm not knocking rehabs,
Yeah.
but it didn't really help me.
Okay.
You're not gonna quit crack cocaine until you want to. You can't tell somebody that you're gonna quit for them or anything.
Yeah.
You have to have the want to.
What's going to take for you to want to do that?
Right now, I'm just enjoying. This is my way of enjoying myself.
Yeah, be honest. Do you like this life? Do you like the street life?
It's not so much liking the street life. I just know in my mind I'm fully capable of getting out and earning my own.
Describe a typical day. Like from waking up.
Well, like right now,
Let's
I just woke up.
Yeah, you just woke up. So just explain to us what's going to happen in the next 24 hours on a typical day.
Well,
So you just woke up at what, 3 in the morning now? 2 in the morning?
it was like 1:30 when I woke up.
Okay, so let's describe your day now. What's going to take
I've already
place?
took me a wake up.
Okay. And what's that? That wake up?
I hit a crack.
Okay.
It helps me think.
And how long does that
honestly.
last? How long does that high last?
About 20 minutes,
Okay.
depending.
All right.
It varies.
And then what's going to happen in a few hours?
I'll probably have made enough money to go in and stay in for a while. Go in somewhere or get me a room somewhere. There's no telling. Different days.
Yeah. Do you eat healthy?
Oh, crack gives me the munchies. I eat constantly.
Yeah?
What
What's your
weed
favorite
does to most
food?
people, crack does to me.
What's
vice
your favorite
versa.
food?
I love green peas.
Green peas?
Yeah.
Hey, what's a good restaurant around this area?
It depends on what type of food you're wanting. Like, if you want like a meat and three or something like that, or
Yeah.
like Mexican, or
I had enough Mexican food in California.
oh yeah.
I want some southern
I used to
food.
live in Bakersfield.
Did you?
Yeah, for a little while.
But I love Mexican food. It's my
Honestly,
favorite.
there is a restaurant up on Dickerson Road called the Po' Boy Luncheon. They have good meat
What's
and
it
threes.
called?
Po' Boy Luncheon.
All right, so you like all kinds of food, huh?
All kinds.
All right.
I'm German and Indian, so.
Okay.
I've never eaten German food though.
Never had German food?
No, I heard they eat eyeballs.
Okay. When you were a child, what were your hobbies? What did you enjoy doing?
I was in gymnastics. My mom put me in that.
Yeah, you have a very athletic body.
My mom put
Your
me in
arms.
that to get me away from the boys because I have 4 brothers. So
Yeah.
constantly.
What else did you draw or?
I do calligraphy.
Oh, okay. What were you listening to back then? What kind of music?
Honestly, I was listening to country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You still like
And
country?
Y107, you remember that? I don't know if you knew.
Which one?
Y107 radio station.
I'm not from Nashville, but what about any other kinds of music you listen to?
I listen to R&B.
Yeah.
I like the older.
Do you also work out?
No,
Not anymore.
I never have.
You never had it. Just
All of this is from gymnastics. I've never been to a regular gym, period.
Okay.
I love to write. I'll sit and write my random thoughts from different times of the day, all day.
Do you read?
Love it.
Yeah.
That's one of my main hobbies.
What are some favorite books?
I read Triple Crown books,
Triple Crown.
and I
books.
like Danielle Steele too.
You like movies?
I wasn't raised watching TV, so I still haven't really gotten into TV. I'll watch the news. That's about it.
So you don't watch movies or anything? Okay. All
I
right.
have watched a few, but this is not my forte, I guess.
So you're not ready to quit yet. You gotta be ready in your mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a mind addiction. It's not a physical addiction. It's not something you gotta have to maintain your day. But when you're ready to quit, you'll quit.
Yeah. So I know I keep repeating myself, but so what's the reason like you don't want to do it soon?
Right now, I'm just doing me. I have a lot of stuff going on in my head. Everybody has their own way of enjoying themselves, whether it's going to clubs or drinking or just any of that. This is my way.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, crack does, I mean, a lot of you, it does help clear my head sometimes.
bet.
It helps
You're
me
in a
think.
lot of different
It
moods
helps
now.
me think,
Yeah.
and it helps me forget some things.
Forget the pain.
So, yeah. That's the only way I can explain it, because I have no excuse for. There is no excuse, really.
What's the most important thing in your life right now?
Living.
Do you believe in God?
definitely. I thank him every day that I wake up and every day that I lay down for another day.
Do you have anybody in your life that's not struggling, that's living a good life, a sober life?
My parents are. They're not in my life. Well, my mom, I recently talked to her on the phone and stuff. She lives in Indiana. But
She lives in Indiana? Does she still love you?
yeah.
Do you still love her?
She's a disabled lady. She's on fixed income, you know. I call and check on her every once in a while.
You any hopes of staying with her, or is she older now? Okay.
Me and her are the type that just can't live under the same roof as far as our personalities clash, I think.
What makes you the happiest?
Waking up.
Do you like Nashville?
I've been everywhere besides Alaska and Hawaii, and I do like Nashville because I keep ending up back here. So.
Tell me some things about Nashville. What was it like growing up in Nashville?
It's a struggle.
You lived in the projects, but what are some fun things to do in Nashville?
Back in the day when I was growing up, we went to Opryland. We
went to where?
Opryland.
What's that?
We used to have an amusement park here.
What's it called?
Opryland.
Opryland.
Yeah.
Tell us about Opryland.
It's not here no more, but roller coasters, water rides. We was gone every weekend.
Yeah.
I loved it.
What about the malls? Did you guys go to malls?
I'm probably only female that you'll meet that doesn't like to shop for clothes and stuff like that. I love to shop for tennis shoes. I'm a tennis shoe freak, but no, I didn't do the mall thing very much.
What about, did you go to concerts growing up?
A few.
Yeah, country concerts?
Yeah.
You got a lot of Californians moving out here?
I've met quite a few out here.
What do you think of Californians? Be honest.
Some of them are real they stick their nose up quite a bit. Most of them.
Leslie, you're a sweet person.
Yeah.
You're so positive. I wish the best for you. Thank you so much for this interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Not at the moment.
All right. Take care, okay?
You too.